My name is Ava, and what I'm about to tell you, well, let's just say it starts with a woman who hated me for absolutely no reason and ends with me signing a deed she never imagined I'd hold. It all began 2 years ago when I moved into apartment 3C of Modest, 3-story brownstone on the corner Maple and Event. The building wasn't anything fancy faded brick, squeaky floors, paint peeling a little on the stairwell walls, but it had charm. More importantly, it felt like a fresh start. I had just gone through a messy breakup, left a job that drained me, and was ready to rebuild quietly, peacefully, on my own terms. But there was one problem, or rather, one person. Her name was Donna. She lived directly across the hall in 3B. Single, sharp red lips, and a permanent scowl like life itself owed her an apology. From the moment I moved in, she watched me like I was an intruder, not a neighbor, an invader. The first time we met, I smiled and said, "Hi, I'm Ava. Just moved in." She looked me up and down, arms crossed, and muttered. That was it. I thought maybe she was having a bad day. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. For weeks, I kept smiling, saying hello, even holding the lobby door open for her when I caught her downstairs. She never smiled back. Then the complaints started. The landlord texted me one morning saying he'd gotten a noise complaint from another tenant, something about loud music late at night. Except I hadn't played anything. I was out that entire evening at my sister's house. I let it slide, but it happened again and again. Lights too bright in the hallway, my door slamming, my packages left in the wrong spot. Donna was relentless. At first, it just annoyed me. Then, it started affecting my life. The landlord grew colder in his messages. "Please respect the community. We've had this issue before with other tenants." I tried defending myself, but it didn't matter. Donna was older. She'd lived in the building for over 10 years. She'd helped paint the basement once, hosted holiday. Everyone knew her. No one knew me. I was the new girl. One night, after yet another anonymous complaint, I knocked on her door. She opened. Already frowning, I spoke calmly. "Donna, have I done something to offend you?" She scoffed. "You don't belong here." I blinked. "I don't understand." She leaned in just slightly and said, "People like you come and go. You act like you're better than this place. But this building has rules. You clearly don't fit." Then she slammed the door. I stood there, heart racing, stunned. That's when I realized she wasn't just being petty. She wanted me gone. The eviction attempt came a month later. I got a formal notice taped to my door, citing multiple lease violations, noise, disturbances, improper trash disposal, all lies. I called the landlord. He was apologetic, but firm. "We've had too many complaints. The other tenants are uncomfortable." "What other tenants?" Donna was the only one on my floor. I cried that night. Not because I was afraid of leaving, but because I felt powerless, like someone could just decide I didn't deserve to be there and the world would agree. But the next morning, something inside me shifted. Maybe it was pride, maybe it was rage, maybe it was exhaustion from running, rebuilding, proving myself over and over. Whatever it was, I decided I wasn't leaving. Not quietly, not this time. I took a week off everything and started digging. I researched the building. Who owned it? Its history. Turns out, it was part of a small portfolio owned by an older couple who lived out of state. The husband had inherited it from his uncle. They had no property manager, just a lawyer who handled lease agreements and tenant disputes. I requested a meeting, told them I wanted to make an offer. They were skeptical. "The building's not for sale," the woman told me. I smiled. "Not yet." I kept calling. I wrote a formal letter. Then I got creative. I found out through a mutual connection that their daughter had recently started a foundation for low-income housing development. I wrote another letter, this one outlining my vision for the building. Community gardens, tenant support programs, monthly meetings, a revitalized, inclusive space. I offered above market value, cash. It took 4 months. But eventually, they said yes. I'll never forget the look on Donna's face the day the notice went out to all tenants. New owner, Ava Monroe. She knocked on my door that evening, clutching the letter, face pale. "You bought the building?" I looked her in the eye. "Yes." She stared, lips parted like she couldn't find the words. I don't understand. You don't even have a real job. I raised an eyebrow. I run a remote creative agency. You should look it up. I smiled, because I was tired of people like you thinking they could control other people's lives. She started to speak, but I gently closed the door. I didn't evict her. I didn't raise her rent. I let her stay. And over the next 6 months, I transformed the building. We fixed the roof, repainted the halls, added a community bulletin board. I started monthly tenant meetings, real ones. I listened. I built trust. And Donna, she stayed quiet. No more complaints. No more attitude. She avoided eye contact, kept to herself, until one day I saw her lingering by the lobby board, staring at a flyer for the upcoming potluck I'd organized. She looked up at me, hesitated, and said, "If you ever need help setting up, I could bring something." It wasn't an apology, but it was close, so I nodded, and together we set up the tables that weekend. Sometimes the best revenge isn't slamming a door or yelling back. Sometimes it's owning the whole building they tried to push you out of. And you know what's even better than revenge? Building something stronger in the very place they tried to tear you down. From that day forward, I wasn't just a tenant. I was the foundation. And Donna, she finally understood what true power looked like. Not cruelty, not complaints, not control, but quiet, persistent resilience, and a woman who refused to be pushed out ever again.